Right. Yeah, that work. Yeah. All right, we're going to rock and roll into it. We got Coach Mike Reed here from Gordon, Texas. Special thing about Coach Reed and his team, they are a six-man program out in West Texas. But Coach Reed, in the middle of their three-peat season, went and scheduled two 11-man games against teams that were playoff teams in the 2A playoffs. So he took his team, went out there. They played just about every game on the road or every game on the road. Every game on the road this year after a tornado destroyed their facility, and they were still able to go 16-0. 16-0. So pretty awesome thing. Coach is also a great track coach. He just won the National Track Coach of the Year. And so he's going to be able to help you develop speed. And again, he understands what you small school guys have to deal with. And so he's going to be a great resource for y'all. So Coach Reed.
Well, I appreciate you having me. I've been doing this a long time. This is my 27th year coaching that I'll be starting up. I've been small school pretty much my whole life. I left West Texas town, Throckmorton, and went to Hamilton and coached in Hamilton for 4 years before my hometown kind of opened back at home. You know, I love coming to clinics, and I love coming to clinics like this. I've put on a lot of clinics where, you know, this is what I like. And I've been blessed to be able to speak in a lot of different places. But what I love the most is the clinics that are like this are the most personal. And, you know, when I think about what to talk about and what to be able to kind of give you, I know I'm not going to be able to be the guy to stand up here and talk about the X's and O's to kind of get you through. Things that I like when I come to clinics is I just want to make sure I leave with a couple of golden nuggets. Like, I don't want to leave with the whole bar. I know the bar is not what I'm going to get, but if I can just leave with a couple golden nuggets. So I'm going to try to throw a lot of things at you in my time to be able to talk that, you know, man, that may be a topic. He's not going to talk about passing game for an hour. He's not going to talk about defense for an hour that may not pertain to you. I'm just going to throw a lot at you that I've used over 27 years, that when I call coaches and say, hey, I don't want to waste 2 hours of practice time to figure out that play didn't work on Friday night. You know, I need you to tell me what the secret sauce is right now. I think one of the things that's just helped me be successful over the time is pulling from and stealing from as many people as I can. And in order to do that, to kind of start things off, I want to tell a story about this old man who was having a hard time paying his bills. So he told his kid, he said, hey, kid, I need you to go get our local donkey, and you're going to take this donkey and you're going to take them down to the market, and we're going to sell this donkey so we can pay our bills. So he gets down there and he grabs the donkey and he starts haltering it up, and he starts walking down the road, and they get to this house. And when they get to the house, this man yells out there. He says, hey, what are y'all doing? He said, oh, man, we got to sell our donkey. Our donkey, we're going to use them to pay the bills. And he said, man, you at least ought to let your kid ride on that donkey. It's a long way to the market. So dad, listening to the kid, grabs his kid, throws his kid up on the top of the donkey, and off they start going. Well, they get to this other house, and when they get to the other house, this guy yells out there, says, hey, what are y'all doing? So, man, we're going to sell our donkey. We've got to pay some bills. It's just hard times. And said, well, it's a long ways to the market, and you're a sorry sucker riding that donkey. You got to at least let your dad ride the donkey too. So kind of listening to the guy, he grabs his hand, he kind of throws him up on the back, and off they start getting into the market. Well, they get to this third house, and this old lady standing out there is like, man, what are y'all doing? Well, we got to sell our donkey, pay some bills. Said, man, I'm sorry, that donkey's been so faithful for you all these years. You suckers ought to carry that donkey. Well, listening to the old lady, they jump off. Old man gets at the front, throws the two legs up on the front. Son gets in the back, throws the thing on the back, and they start carrying that donkey on into the market. Well, right before they get into the market, there's an old narrow bridge that gets in there. They get out in the middle of that bridge, and a gust of wind hits that thing, and it just, and the donkey goes down. Well, they look down and that donkey's dead. Moral story is if you try to please everybody and you try to listen to everybody, you're going to lose your ass. So with that being said, that's kind of what this coaching clinic is for you. And that's kind of what, and what you're about to attack is if you try to sit there and listen to everything that you hear today and say, man, I'm going to go back and I'm going to attack that and do that, you're going to lose your ass. I'm going to talk about culture, and I'm going to talk about things that I've done over 27 years in practice and in our school that I think has helped propel us to where we're at. And I've been blessed. I've won 12 state championships in multiple sports. I've won 5 in football. I've been runner-up 3 times in football, and I've won 7 team track state championships. And I've just been blessed with good people. But the thing that really did it was not just some secret play, not just some secret workout, not just something secret in the weight room. It was just things along the way that I picked up that worked over a course of 4 communities. And in that journey, I failed. I lost 3 state championships before I won my first one. I was about to be the Marv Levy of Class A football. I mean, that's just the fact of it. And so I took a junior high team at that time that wasn't even a very good junior high team, and that was the first one to win it. Was the one that was, they won like 5 junior high football games, and that's the group that won it. Well, I think that's the group that endured the culture. I think that's the one that kind of bought into the things that I'm going to try to talk to you a little bit about. And he's not wrong, and we'll talk a little bit about this. So on May 18th, so we have Texas' longest winning streak right now at Gordon, and it's still continuing. And we get hit in midst of trying to win a 3-peat state championship with different groups, because when you win 3, you're not doing it with the same kids. You're having to do it with different groups. So now we're trying to win our 3rd state championship in a row with a 3rd different group. And that happened on May 18th, we get hit with a tornado that takes out our entire athletic facilities, all of it. I mean, we have to clean out a car dealership and lift weights in a car dealership. I mean, that's from donated weights from Houston, Texas, just to be able to have weights. We did not have a practice field, and season was starting in 10 weeks. And on top of that, I said, hey, we're going to play 2 11-man football games with a group of kids that have only played 6-man their whole life, only know 6-man. We're going to play 2 11-man schools against Thorndale, which is now 3A, and a traditional powerhouse, and Bracketville, which did get canceled because of rain at the end of the year. But so amidst of all that stuff, that was the adversity that we had going on. That's what I want to kind of talk about a little bit as we kind of go through this. And I just kind of want to let this play for a second, just so you can kind of have, as I kind of tell you some of the struggles and things we went through. And this is on YouTube, and you can pull this up on YouTube. This is what Dave Campbell's Victory Plus kind of showed before the state championship. One of the reasons why I kind of wanted to just show you this, and let's see if I can find this, is kind of what it, as coaches, what we sometimes feel like we don't want to do. Can you see if you can? I have young coaches on my staff, and they handle some of this stuff for me. But I was going to see if I can pull up that other powerful one or the other presentation. Yeah, that one. So these are just a lot of the different little nuggets and things that I kind of want to throw at you there in that course that I think kind of set us up. There's a minor league baseball team a few years ago that went from last place to first place in their baseball season. So last place to first place. All right. And they didn't play a single home game, not one. So the year before, they were in last place playing all these home games. And then the following year, they redid their stadium, and they ended up winning the championship with the same team, but never playing a home game. And I remember watching that on ESPN, and that was about what we were somewhat about to live. However, being good and then staying good, not going from first to last, but them going from last to first. And why did that happen? You know, what do we do in our athletics that sometimes create that culture where how does a team truly go from last to first with the only thing that changing is that they don't have a home? And I think for us, and I think is that for coaches, and I learned this when I was in Hamilton, because when I was in Hamilton, when we first got there, we had 33 kids out. We're a big 2A school. We only had 33 football players out. And we went 0-10, then we went 3-7, 5-5, and 6-4. And we went from 33 kids to 68 kids, and then and ended up growing. Had 6 kids out for track the first spring when I got there, having over 60 kids out for track in a 4-year span. The difference was it just home has to be where you are at and where your coaches are at. And being intentional with your coaches and asking kids how they're at. I get frustrated with teachers all the time because we'll come in on a Thursday night. Like for us, like we had played no home football games. So junior high was on the road, JV was on the road, varsity was on the road, and then we played every baseball game on the road as well this season, which we just played for a state championship there with no baseball field. So where does that come from? That comes from the coaches, and that comes from the top leading all the way down, from the superintendent to the principal, is what family atmosphere can you take with you? So wherever you're at, remotely or intentionally, do you have a plan for what home is? A real good friend of mine that he coached at Harker Heights for a while, Coach Edwards, and he told me one of the things that, because in a larger school, he's like, man, I don't even know who my freshmen are. Like, I'm going to make it intentional every day to just know who my freshmen are. Well, I can't fathom that being a small school kid, because